Hi everybody, this is Cooking the Books Home Edition again with Liz. Today I'm preparing roasted eggplant parmesan, and this recipe is fabulous for a bunch of reasons. One of them is that it's not fried and it's not breaded. It's a low carb application, and my husband is on a low carb diet, so I have been looking and searching for recipes, and he's Italian, so I'm trying to find recipes that he would like, and this is one of them. This is fairly easy, but it takes a little bit of prep. Right now I've cut up an eggplant. There's one already in the oven roasting up, and I've put some olive oil on it, some kosher salt, some oregano, some pepper, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the rest of these on the baking sheet. I'm going to brush each side with olive oil, and then put some salt and pepper and oregano on it and have it go into the oven, and I'll show you what the completed roasted eggplant looks like when it's ready to come out. Now, as I said, my husband is on this low carb diet, and it was pretty much of a challenge for me to find something that he would like, that he would find satisfying, and this sort of does the trick. It's really good in flavor, and it's satisfying, which is very hard with Italian food, to get that just right flavor. So I gave this a try, and we were really happy with it. So I wanted to share it with everybody and let them know that there are alternatives out there for you to try and to experience. I'm just flipping them over. You have to do both sides with the olive oil. And both sides, both sides with the olive oil, and just one side with the salt and the oregano. Okay, so let me just rinse my hands here for a minute. So now I'm going to take the kosher salt. You know what? I don't think I seasoned it on this side. Wait a minute. I have to go back and do this over again. Okay. So I'm just putting a little bit more of olive oil on both sides, so it gives it that crisp feeling. And somehow or other, when this comes out of the oven, it is so delicious. You could just eat them as chips. You don't even have to cook the entire thing. It's so good. All right, we're almost there. All right, perfect. Now I take the kosher salt and sprinkle it over. Take the pepper, and just give it a sprinkle here and there, and take the oregano. When you're using dry ingredients, always use a little less than what they say, because it's pretty strong, and what you have to do to activate it is rub it in your hands and then sprinkle it all over. And it gives the aroma. You can smell it instantly. You can smell the oregano. And that's it. And it's ready to go into the oven. And like I said, when we pull out the other one, we'll show you what it looks like. See you in a minute. Hi. I have taken out the roasted eggplant. There's another one cooking in the oven. And you can see it's gotten brown and crispy. And I'm going to start assembling this. I don't think the other great thing about this recipe is you can use jarred sauce, which I have. And you can also use your own sauce, but In this case, I'm using the jarred sauce. So, you put down, I think it says a third of the marinara sauce, which I'm just going to give a little stir to. And spread it. It also called for fresh basil, which I did not have, so I'm going to use the dry basil. And as I said before, when you're using dry ingredients, make sure that you use a little less than what the recipe calls for, because they're generally quite strong. So here you go. Just sprinkle that in. Now I'm going to take, let's see, what comes next? The mozzarella. And I've taken, this is called for the buffalo mozzarella. This is fresh mozzarella. You can use the other, regular one that comes in a package. That's pretty available at most supermarkets. I've used that too. I'm going to cut this in half because it's a little big for this dish. This also calls, which I thought was a strange ingredient, goat cheese. I'm not a fan of goat cheese, but in this application, I kind of like it. So you just put some goat cheese down. And Parmigiano Reggiano. Just take about a third of that, sprinkle it. And I use, again, my favorite, a microplane. And let's just assemble the eggplant on top in a single layer. So, and it's really crispy. When it bakes down, honestly, it is just so delicious and light and satisfying. So I'm going to continue with this, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all put together. See you in a minute. Hi, I have just removed the last tray of roasted eggplant. I'm going to put it on. I've already repeated each layer twice, and now I'm on to the last piece of this. If I have any left over, I can make a small dish of roasted eggplant too. Okay, I think that's just about enough for this. I didn't use the entire amount because it's just my husband and I, but this yields for about 6 people normally. Okay, when you make the full recipe. Okay, so I have and I finished everything in here. I'm going to put the Parmigiano Reggiano on it. I'm actually going to sprinkle a little bit more on it because it couldn't hurt it. And the last thing I'm going to do is put on the breadcrumbs. There aren't many of them, but it adds just a little crunch and a little flavor unexpectedly to the recipe. And it says to use fresh breadcrumbs. I always have fresh breadcrumbs in the freezer. When we get takeout Italian, they always give us way too much bread, and what I do is I save the bread, I freeze it, and then I make my own breadcrumbs. I just toast them in the oven for a little while, and then I put them through the food processor, which is what I've done. But if you don't have fresh breadcrumbs, you certainly can use dry breadcrumbs, preferably unsalted. And for this, I have the breadcrumbs, 4 cloves of garlic, I have parsley in here, and olive oil. And you just sprinkle this on top to make a nice little crumb mixture. And I'm going to put this delicious mixture into the oven. For the breadcrumbs that are left over, I am going to freeze them, and I'm going to use them in another application, either for stuffed mushrooms or something else in the future. But nothing goes to waste. And that's pretty much it. So I'll see you on the other side when I take it out of the oven. There you go. 45 to 50 minutes. This is it, everybody. This is the roasted eggplant. I unfortunately didn't let it set up long enough. Make sure you set it up. It says 10 minutes. Give it 20. And I'm going to taste it. I am going to taste it. It's a little warm, but it's delicious. I can feel the crunch of the roasted eggplant. I can taste the cheese, the mozzarella, even the goat cheese very much in the background, but there. And the Parmigiano Reggiano, the breadcrumb, it all just adds to a delicious flavor. I recommend you try this dish. Here are our brownie, our chocolate chip brownie bites, and they are also delicious. Give these recipes a try. I'll see you soon. Stay safe. This is it, everybody. This is the roasted eggplant. I unfortunately didn't let it set up long enough. Make sure you set it up. It says 10 minutes. Give it 20. And I'm going to taste it. I am going to taste it. It's a little warm, but it's delicious. I can feel the crunch of the roasted eggplant. I can taste the cheese, the mozzarella, even the goat cheese very much in the background, but there. And the Parmigiano Reggiano, the breadcrumb, it all just adds to a delicious flavor. I recommend you try this dish. Here are our brownie, our chocolate chip brownie bites, and they are also delicious. Give these recipes a try. I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Thank you.